How we doing, everybody? I'm so excited. We just got, I know a lot of the donors got their Call for Kilforth game in the mail, and I received mine a couple of days ago, and I was finally able to open it. So I wanted to share it with all of you. So I did. I opened it already because dealing with just cards as opposed to dealing with minis and stuff like that, and maps and boards. All that's lots of fun to open up, but cards is just more of a pain. So, but I want to discuss all the contents with you. So I'm going to do this quick video. It's not quick, actually. It's a while. But yeah, so if you're a fan of Shadows of Kilforth, Gloom of Kilforth, this is an expansion on top of that, and it's an open world adventure game where you're running around the map, discovering things, trying to get certain keywords and things to that effect, and then escalating your character up to the point where you're fighting a boss. So it's a little bit of you know video game-ish type of thing where your end goal is to beat the boss. But let's get into it right now and stay tuned for Call of Kilforth. All right, how are we doing? Now we're got to kind of laid everything out, and as I explained, I didn't do an unboxing because all the cards are usually jumbled up together. So, like these cards can be grouped with that cards, and half of them could be in that pile. And then, when you're opening them, there's not the whole amount there. So I figured this would be the easiest way to show the contents of the game without having to open the plastics and all that stuff. So, as I mentioned, so let's go through the contents real quick. Though I have them all laid out, I already punched out all of the tokens. But if you're familiar with the Kilforth kind of, all the expansions in the main game in the past, then, this bag is what you draw from when you get certain loot and things to that effect. So, and then everyone gets these. These you end up putting on certain characters and things to that effect. These, I don't know what they are. So this is all pirate stuff. This is all new. I like the idea that this has taken on a different style even though it has the same rules. I have to go read the rules because I haven't played in a while. But I have the other expansions in the main game. But I like that this has totally changed themes to the pirate theme. So this has a ship on it, which I think conforms. This is called Potion Stash, heal up to maximum HP. So you must take these tokens when you get a certain ship. Because if you notice, this ship is different, and so is this ship. And I never knew what these were for. Obviously, this has the grid of the game itself, and it shows where to put something during night. So I've never taken these before, but I probably should use these. I always thought that the night cards, and we'll get into that. We'll get into the night stuff. But anyway, so these are all the colors of you take a certain type of character, and then the rest of it is all the loot stuff. Like here's more of the night stuff. And I think that's an optional thing, but I don't know what that is. But here you can see the loot on the back. This looks like some kind of a title. Faded doubloon, flip, no effect. Faded doubloon, flip, and 1 success to do as a test. I don't know what that is either. But here's more of the ship stuff. And here's these other ships. Now I believe, let me see where those ships are. I remember seeing cards. We'll come across it. Like here's the character cards. We'll go through it all. Oh, it might be right here. Nope, damaged. Nope, galleon. Let me see. Nope. So right off the bat, they gave you a disclaimer. Several cards listed below use the word ship to reference a player's galleon. Repair your ship instead of repair your galleon. Apologies for any confusion. We missed the deadline to correct these, but we'll endeavor to reprint them in the future. So anyway, they give you a little thing there. But that's what all the tokens are, and there's a ton of them. And I'm going to have to read about how we're going to come across the ship cards, and we'll see if these match that. But I'm not going to go through all the tokens, but those are the general types of them. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of the ship ones. Whole bunch. And they're all different backs. All right, so that's what's in there. We'll talk about the knight stuff too. I'm going to have to read through that. All right, so let's just kind of go through the thing. So here's the new characters that we have. These are I didn't get the figures because the figures truthfully look really bad, and I'll just use figures from my collection. That were probably better. But anyway, here's the new one. So we have different pirates and stuff like that. So in fact, maybe we should go through that first. If I can find the characters. These are, okay. Okay, so these are what we call classes. Okay, and there's plenty of others in the other game. And then what you do is you take a race or whatever, and then you put them together. So this is like your character here. So this is a centaur telepath. And she would have the 3 attack and knowledge, I think that is, observation, and diplomacy. Should be like speaking mouth. So that's how that works. You basically put the races together with the class. And the class is what corresponds to the tokens for the standees. All right, so let's go through them real quick. So we have a telepath. We have a reconnaissance. Okay, reconnaissance. Got it. Shipmaster. Bounty hunter, cattle, a merchant, magic user, pirate, of course, and privateer. Okay, again, those would all match those. Then the race and things like that you can combine, we have centaur, and you have the female and the male version on either side. We have the goblinkin. And we have the human and latent keener. Don't know what that is. Oh, it must be something to do with magic. Lizard folk. It's funny that the male and female, you can't tell which is which. Merfolk. That doesn't look like Aquaman. I think that's a complete stolen from Aquaman's trident in the movie. Paylorn. Obviously something to do with animals. The glyph. And we're back to centaur. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for the classes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's exactly the same amount. All right, then over here, this is our map. So this is the center. It says you can perform a merchant thing, so this always goes in the center. And then these, we have a forest, and then obviously, as you know, when the darkness takes over, then you flip them. So every time that you have a night card that matches, you'll flip them over. And then that's why it's weird, because I've always just flipped what this says, but this one is instead flips the actual space on the board. I prefer just using that. I don't think you really need the tokens. So we have a Clear Lagoon, Elaine Refuge. These are all forests. And Haven Woods, +1 AP, so you can heal there. Teal Eaves, the Enclave, and then we have the Mountains, and you get +1 HP here also. We have Cinder Dome, Mount Malum, Red Cliff, Sierra Herba, Soaring Peaks. Don't know what that says. Oh, Trolltooth Crage. Wow. Okay. And then this is where it gets different. So I don't know what they had. I think we had plains in the last one, right? We still might have plains, but this we have water. We have Azure Reef, Blood Seas, Blue Tides, Cobalt Deep, Diablo's Locker, and Saltwater Straits. Okay, we still do have plains. I wonder what is replaced. Plains, forest, mountains. Oh, here's the water one. So let's put this over here. So there's the... oh, this is the one I was just using. Yeah, so these are the 4 here. And then this is the map. So I don't know what's missing. Plains, Ocean, I'll have to look back at the other cards and the other sets. And then we have Abara Wilds, Burning Flats, Feral Plains, Scarn Isle. It's funny that's a plains and it's an isle. Tyrmore's Chalice, Unbroken Dunce, okay, and Angel's Cradle. Hero can perform 1 move action to move to the Sierra Herba. Yeah, there's always like secret doors and stuff like that. So these are the maps. And then what happens is when you land on a certain thing, and these will all get mixed up. So you'll have a plains next to a mountain and stuff like that because it's a grid just like it shows here. So, it's a 5x5 grid. So that's why it's 24 cards, and then you have the extra card that goes in the middle. Okay, so let's say you land on a plains, then you'll take the top card here, and you'll have to do a test if you're not in stealth or whatever else. So you have to get certain keywords to move on to finish specific quests and things to that effect. It's actually kind of cool. And here you can either get, if you pass it, you either get a title or 2 gold. And it stays face up on the map until you finish it. So first hero discards 1 quest or place from the map. Okay. And, well, that's pretty easy. Oh, we have to do this. That's what happens when it's revealed. You have to discard something else that was on the map already. And you need 5 knowledge or 4 observation to beat it. So that's how that works. And then, of course, you also have people. So you have 4... influence, I think it is. So I think that's what it is. Violent Uprising, yeah. So you have to influence your influence on this. And then when it's revealed, choose 1. Pay 2 gold and lose 1 AP. Escape, lose 1 HP, and make camp. Pass an influence, I was right, 4 test, which is right, what's right there, and gain 1 title. Otherwise, lose 2 HP and 1 gold. Ouch. Okay, so that's that actually is not a person. That's an actual event. But let's look at the ocean ones. Okay, so there's a person right there. She has 4 hit points. Stranger, Lawless, Ocean. When you fail an influence test, so she has an influence of 3, place your enemy token on this card, which is what these are. So she turns into an enemy. Even if you already have previous successes on this card. The Lawless ones are difficult and it gives you little flavor text. So that one you can turn into an ally or you take 1 gold. And that's how that works. So that's what these 4 stacks are here. That's what that stack is here. And these are plot cards, which I believe go with the story. So Beast of Torment. So I think this goes with whatever the main villain is, which I think are over here. So you have Minister of Strife. And he is, looks like a villain there. Baron of Hades. And the artwork is really phenomenal. Count of Torment. Podrith of Dread. Okay, and then these go, okay, so there's 4 different bad guys, and then they have their own cards. And then I think their own plot cards come with this also. See, Beast of Torment, Drowned Torment, Ghost of Torment, Souls of Torment, Tentacles of Torment. So there you go. So I think there's 6 plot cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for each one. So there's the Torment one. Hades, Torment, Count of Torment, and then Dread. So you have Strife, Hades, Torment, and Dread. Right? So there's Torment, and here's Hades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these come out, and then they affect the thing in some way, unless you beat it. Because the more of these that are out there, the stronger the demon gets at the end. Then we have Strife. Oh, and each one of them corresponds. Like this is ocean, this is forest. And there's those 6, and this one's mountain. And then Dread. So, depending on who you choose, you'll choose 6 of these cards. And then on top of that, you have these plot cards or these story cards. So it's chapter 1, you have to do this to beat chapter 1. So you'll need a stranger, an enemy, and if you're only playing 1 or 2 players, you need an extra keyword, which is planes, to beat it. And then you complete it, you get 5 gold, and you have 1 regale action, which I think is like an upgrade. And 2, spend 5 gold to get 1 regale action. And then when you get to 3, you have to have a knowledge test, Shadowy Affirmant Interlude. Defeat this interlude and spend 5 gold. I don't know why it has burning. Oh, that's where you have to do it. You have to go to the Burning Flats and you get +1 martial. We'll go into the martial thing here in a second. And then at the end, overthrow the despot. Yeah, that's the name of the thing. And then when you complete this, you get another regale action. And then after this is when you fight the baddie. So that's how that works. Oh, and there's 2 cards for each one. So you overthrow the despot, Ascension, Bitter Rivals, Cause Eruption, okay, Seize Throne, Destroy the Bloodline, Immortality, and then these are black. Raise the Dead, so I don't know. Yeah, I need an attire. Interesting. So I don't know why that one's black, but it is. So that's how that all works. And then if you're wondering how that martial thing, so this I don't know what it is. Wizard's Tower. Heroes may perform market actions here. It's like it goes on the actual thing. Wizard's Tower. Black Keep. Heroes may perform more action here. Heal 1 HP to a hero here or an adjacent location. Add 1 success to any test. This location is safe. No encounters may be placed here. Shadow. So there's one for each Martial, Arcane, Rebel, and Shadow. So that's the 4 types here. Any hero may automatically evade an enemy here. So that's those. So one goes, I don't know how that actually works. I guess that they correspond to something here, but here's the Shadow. See, when you pass level 1, you'll get to choose one of these: level 2, level 3, and level 4. So that's Shadow, and then you have Arcane, and they have up to level 4, and then you have Rebel, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you have Martial. Okay, so you'll be able to choose a Martial thing. But I thought that you had to stick within your thing. It's funny that that says Martial, unless that's what you have to choose to do that mission. Okay, so moving on. Here's this Galleon thing. I do not know what this is. 3 max tokens, I guess, go in here. I have no idea what these numbers are. Because remember, this is all new. This whole thing with ships and pirates and everything like that is completely new to this particular set. And he just came out with a set again. I mean, he only a few months later, he came out with another set. I mean, he may just had additional artwork he didn't use. And I want to do like a little expansion. Load cannons, gain 1 power. Oh, they're all the same. Yeah. And then your damage is wrecked. So these are all the same. So obviously you have 1 per player. So I'll have to learn about that. And then this is what we were talking about for night. So every turn you'd flip a card, and there's 24 of these because there's 24 of these. So every time you have to flip a thing, it tells you what to flip, which is why I prefer using the cards instead of the tokens. And different things will occur, but each time you turn this over, you're going to turn that to darkness. So basically you have 24 turns, because then if everything turns to darkness, you lose. So that's how that works. Then we have additional cards here that I don't know what they are. Obviously, there's some kind of an enemy. Raise the Dead, Immortality, Destroy Bloodline, Seize the Throne, Cause Eruption, Bitter Rivals, Ascension, and Overthrow the Despot. So obviously one of these corresponds. I should probably just put them in with here, but that's what these go here. I'll put those into the order, but I didn't realize those went. Oh no, these don't go in the plot. These go in the. These are the plot cards. These go in here. Okay, so moving along, then we have the plot cards, and that's ones I talked about already. Okay, so now we have these over here. I think this is the last one. I don't know where those ship cards went. Where did those ship cards go? Because this is the last stack I have here. Where did I put those ship cards? I didn't put them in the night. I counted these out, so that's 8. I counted these out, and it's 8. There's only 4 here. Plot, night. I went through all these. I don't know. I don't know where those ship cards went. But I know there was like 4 different galleon cards, which is what corresponds to the ship. All right, so when these are, instead of taking gold, you can take items, allies, spells, or titles. And when you do, you'll just take one off the top, and then this will add to your card, to your character. So when you're building your character out and this comes in, it'll add like that, and then you'll have 7 knowledge instead. So all of your spells add knowledge, and I think to get the spell, you have to go to Mount Malum. So normally there's a quest associated with you actually getting that spell. So you'll be able to get the card, but you won't actually get attach it until after. So your items are kind of all over the place. So +1. It's interesting that says +1 and this says 2. I'll have to read up on that. +1, +1, and then it says 3. Unless you use that instead of your normal. These don't have anything. So there's scrolls, treasure map, +1 observation, +1, +1. So I'll have to read up on that, what the difference is between having the plus and having the straight number. So this is the titles. Oh, the ships are titles. There you go. There's where they are. And you see there's 4 of them. The Blue Drake. So let's see. See if that matches anything. It doesn't. I thought for sure it would match, but it doesn't. And look, 1112. I don't know what. Again, I don't know what those are. Yeah, these don't match anything. I don't know. Again, this is all new to me. But these are titles. So these are 4 ships, but these are not. And there's pluses all over here for the titles. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I have to read up on that. And then these are your allies. And again, here's pluses. So it's interesting that the spell does not. This is all plus. Look at that. This one says minus. Oops. What is that? A jester. Interesting. But meanwhile, the spells are the only ones. Oh, you know what? I think this is what you have. I think that's the check you have to do to get the spell when you go to that area. I think that's what it is. When the battle starts, your foe loses 2 hit points. If the foe has no hit points left, skip the skirmish step, then discard any weather card from play. I'm going to have to look at the weather. I think those are in the knights. Yeah, so I think that's how it is. I think you have to go and do a knowledge check. Because I think you just claim these when you go to that certain area. Again, I have to read up on that. Mimic. That's right out of D&D, isn't it? Immediately put this card into play at the location as an enemy. So you get an item, and they also had the D&D movie, right? The chest with the mouth. All right, so that's it for that. I did want to see the knight cards real quick because, and then we'll go into these tokens here too. Blue Drake, and the artwork is just phenomenal. Sea Dogs Game 1 loot. So I wanted to see the weather. Event, weather. And a will wind blows. And this, what happens is this stays out until there's another weather. Draw and fully resolve 1 more night card. Yeesh. Becalm Seas, discard all obstacles from play. Icy Mists. It's like Castle Grayskull there. All heroes not hidden lose 1 hit point. That sucks. And then that's when it's revealed. You put it on the map. When breaking camp ends, each hero loses 1 AP. Down to a minimum of 1 AP. Well, that sucks. We want to get rid of that one quick. Yeah, and it says in the bottom, falls to gloom. So that, yeah. Wow, it's a lot of weather here. Holy cow, look at that. Half the deck is weather. Ouch. Okay, so let's go into these real quick. There's just regular dice, and these here are just dividers. So let's go into these real quick. So this is new. There's little fishies. I don't know what those are for. Okay, so then you have black hearts. So what happens is that once you use a heart or whatever else, the black hearts are the number that your hit points are. So you'll have black hearts, but then you'll have red hearts on top of the black hearts. And that's your maximum health. So think of it as a bar. So this makes up the bar of your health. And then what you'll do is you'll put the red hearts on top of that. And you can only heal up to as many black hearts as you have. And then the red hearts go on top of that. Then you have time tokens. Again, I don't remember what this was for. And then you have gold. You can also use the gold for markers, like success markers, which is why I think they give you a whole bunch of these. And then there's stuff here. So this is the clouds are obstacles. And what's not in here is the green ones, which is like they look like trees, they look like broccoli, really. And that's the hidden tokens, but they don't have those here. So these three, I don't know what these are. These look like little bar. I don't know. I don't know what these are. I don't know, like wood? I don't know. That's what it kind of looks like. And I have no idea what this is. No idea. And then black ones also. Black bars. Just out of curiosity, I wonder if it tells me like right in the beginning here. Just because this, oh, here we go. Yeah, there's no hidden. Oh, resources. Wood, stone, food, and metal. That's what those are. Gained by using gather actions, used to build outposts or discard for abilities. Ship tokens represent friendly, neutral, or rival ships for heroes to try to sink during the advanced rules. Interesting. Faded doubloons, used in a variant to remove dice from the game using Aurora. Oh my god, I want to do that. Obstacle, I was right about that. Power. Power tokens add to the power of the hero's galleon. Choose sides. Represents whether the hero is currently aligned with the blue drakes or the sea dogs. Night location variant. Players may draw these to randomly determine the location that falls to gloom. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I prefer just using the cards. So I'm going to have to read over this because I don't... There's a bunch of stuff. And here's the layout. See how it lays out? 5 on 5. And then the stuff goes on the side. It's pretty interesting. It's a fun game because you do feel like it's an open world game, and time is not on your side because you constantly feel, with everything turning to gloom every turn, you constantly feel. See here. See the black hearts, and then you'll add a black heart that you could then turn into thing. Action gather. Heroes at a location with one or more resources and no obstacles. The hero gains one resource of their choice from that location. Resources can be collected to pay the construction of hero outposts. Interesting. But here you have hide, but you don't have a token anymore. They lie their hero standee down on its side to show this. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Otherwise, it looks pretty much the same as the other games, but it's there's 20 pages here. Spell. A spell's asset can only be used if the hero has a study value. A A study value equal to or greater than the spell's study value. Got it. So there is a lock next to that? Oh, there is a lock next to it. I see. So you have to have a knowledge value of 2 or higher to use the spell. Interesting. Okay, that's what that means. All right, so that's it for me. Let me know. Here, outposts. Outposts are beneficial. Oh, that's what these are. That's what these are, is outposts. Outposts are beneficial structure that heroes can build using certain level 1 outpost skills. Once they have gathered enough resources, the hero sets their crew. Now, I wonder if you can mix and match these things, because I thought you had to choose one. I want to check that out real quick before I hang up on this. Let's see. It would be in setup, right? Right. So you put the map together. You choose your race. You choose your class. You choose the saga for their first game. Okay. Skills. Each hero places all the skills of their class's skill type face up beside the map. Oh, arcane, shadow. Oh, okay. See, once you pick your class, so that's why you can't. So when you're building outposts, you can only build one, because this has to do with your skills. I forgot that it actually said the skill type next to it. Interesting. All right, well that's it for me. I'll do like a little wrap up here in a second, but I'm excited to play this game. It looks pretty wild. Let me know what you guys think, and let's do a quick wrap up. Thanks for watching, guys. So as you can see, Tristan Hall, who I guess is the artist as well as the creator of this game, he knocked it out of the park again as far as the art's concerned. And I'm excited to get this one to the table and see how all the interworkings of the ships kind of affect the layout of the game from the previous renditions. And I was wrong. So the black hearts, so what they are is action points. But I was right, where if you lose a health, you lose an action point. So those are combined. So it is still like the bar, except that one affects the other. If you don't, if you lose health, you lose the action point. And then, of course, if you die, I think you start out with just 2 on the next turn. But thank you so much for watching, guys. And I hope that some of you have picked it up. And if you figure out how to use the ships and stuff like that, leave it in the comment section below. But let me pitch my own stuff real quick here. Remember, I am a award-winning writer as well. And this is my new fantasy novel. It's not new anymore. It's like a month or so old now, a couple months old. So Tales of Ravenore, the Iron Witch. I am planning to write a sequel to it. It does end. It wraps up, but not completely. And it's got a whole new fantasy setting in here, as well as a magic system and things to that effect. And then sci-fi wise, I have my 4 novel series. This is the adaptation of the first novel in comic book form. And we have plenty of aliens and androids and ship battles and a twist that'll keep you guessing about what's going to happen. So that's Destiny Aurora. It's only $20, 150 pages long. And you can get it on destinyaurora.net over here. And then my vampire mob set in the 1950s goes back and forth in time. And we get to see what happens in the 1950s as opposed to what happens here in present day or semi-present day. So it is a revenge story as a woman is turned into a vampire, and then she plots her revenge against the ones that turned her. So the second issue I'm going to be launching on Kickstarter shortly. I set it in for approval,
and then I'm waiting to get the video done, and that's about it. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I finally got to get into a little bit of a board game situation. And check out my other videos that are going to pop up here as well. And make sure you give me the thumbs up or the middle finger, whatever way you like it. All right. Talk to you soon, guys. Thank you again for helping me grow the channel. Bye.